live with Hat Dragon. It's a new one. So I'm wearing a hat on the video. Post-workout this is post-workout dragon. So this is why my look is a little bit different. Haven't showered, haven't had the post-workout meal. Voice a little bit scratchy. I don't know if it's from bracing so hard, but it could be. Clearly high on caffeine. Not that much, just, about 2 cups of coffee. Not a big deal. Anyway, I want to talk you through unexplained, flares and things that just kind of come up randomly for the lower back and how to auto-regulate more effectively and still kind of keep the pace. Don't necessarily concern yourself with like these irregularities that will hopefully not control your destiny for a couple weeks. So let's set the stage for myself. Friday, I trained with a client. We were doing push 2, which is primarily like chest, shoulders, arms, not so much, bench press or anything. Like everything was very stable. There wasn't any movement patterns that I thought were going to offset my lower back. The only thing that maybe could have been a little bit something outside of the ordinary for me was overhead pressing on a machine, extremely stable. Nothing crazy in terms of the weights. I think I did 2 plates, but again, like everything that I do now is like very hypertrophic focus. I'm not trying to be a power lifter. I'm trying to make sure I get a stimulus. And I woke up the next day and unexplained to me, but my lower back was like tight, extremely tight, almost like there was no nerve pain. It just felt like something in my lower back, maybe muscular wise, was pulled, strained, if you will. So I started running down, I think what we can do, right? If you're in my position, this is, nothing outside of the ordinary for me. So I kind of have a rundown. So why not clear it up with the audience of some things you could do to, diagnose and kind of feel yourself out. So I woke up, I'm really stiff. Am I in pain? Is the pain going down my leg? So in this situation, no, the pain's not going down my leg. It just feels like my lower back is extremely stiff. So what I did was I went into hydration, supplementation in terms of like my normal supplements, vitamin C, everything that I would normally do, citrus bergamot. If you're looking for like a more supplemental related protocol, that'll be in a separate video, but you can obviously ask me and I'll put it in the chat what I take every day. But I downed about, let's probably say half a liter of water, maybe even a little bit more, had my breakfast, and then it was all about trying to get out and get movement in. I've got to figure out what is causing the strain. I know that's in my lower back, but what am I able to do for the rest of the day? Am I able to play with the kid? Go somewhere with my wife? It was waking up on a Saturday where I have to be responsible for, there's no daycare, right? So it's all me. And in this situation, I had some time in the morning to be able to do some stretching, do some mobility work, get some fresh blood into my lower back through back extensions. And then I think I also did a little bit of posterior chain work. I think it was like hamstring, very minor hinging, and then I was pretty much good for the rest of the day. So point that I'm trying to say here is that if your back in itself is super tight, a lot of people think that they just need to shut it down. Shut it down, relax for the rest of the day. And I think that potentially does have its place, right? If it was like nerve-related symptoms, it's going down your leg, it's in your foot, right? I don't think you want to exacerbate those symptoms because they're already very low. They're already in your hamstring, they're already in your, below your glutes. So that type of pain, I think, would require more anti-inflammatories, maybe more icing, and a full days of rest. Okay, let's drop inflammation. Let's really relax. And then let's see what we can do from a movement capability standpoint the following day. For me, because I wasn't getting any nerve-related symptoms, my symptoms felt more muscular, like I pulled something. So because I woke up, because it was so fresh, I didn't ice or heat. It was just about movement. Pump blood into the back. And then after I did that, get the endorphins going. When I came home, that's when I was able to start continuing the icing protocol, which is about, as much as you frequently can do, but you want to do like 20, 30 minutes on, an hour off, 20, 30 minutes on, hour off. I think I did maybe 3 or 4 sessions that day. And then when I woke up the following day, it was less tight. I'm like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. This is now Sunday. But I want to follow a similar protocol. So movement, stretching, mobility. If you want, you could do some, reverse walking like that. I feel like that helps. Any walking in general has always been a major stimulus for me that helps like my lower back get over issues faster. So could be walking front, could be walking backwards, could be on a treadmill, so on and so forth. But by doing those steps continuously and not sitting on my ass and not, crushing anti-inflammatories because the pain wasn't nerve related in nature, I could actually feel everything that was going on over the course of the day. There was no blunted sensation. So I wasn't sitting for extended periods of time because I took the anti-inflammatories. Maybe I'd sit longer. Maybe I would actually be hurting the lower back and then making my matters worse after the anti-inflammatories were off. But like I said, they do have their place if you're going to be laying on your back, if you're icing, and you're trying to reduce the total overall swelling of the lower back, or the disc rather. So walking into Monday, I felt still probably the less stiff that I felt, but I knew that I could probably train. So then at that point, it's up to you, right? For me, I was like, okay, it's quad day. That's my weak point. I want to be able to safely and effectively target quads and not disrupt my lower back. So all I did was I did mobility, reverse sled work. After I felt like my back was in a stable position, I did a little bit of core work just to tighten everything up, whether it was planks, spur dog, side planks, okay? And then I moved into quads. Leg extensions. Didn't feel any nerve-related symptoms as I had one single leg out, the other single leg out. It's kind of like doing almost like a nerve floss. Then I followed it up with single leg, incline, basically like a squat. And it was just my body weight, because right now, as I'm pushing my weight higher and higher, I get a really good stimulus just by my own body weight, just squatting almost like kickstand style. I got my front foot, I got the back foot. It's 80% on the front leg, 20% on the back leg, and then the front foot's elevated so I can get really crazy knees over toe depth. Then I went into single leg press. I think you're starting to see a little bit of a pattern here. Everything is single leg for me because my right leg is so dominant. That doesn't need to be the case for you, but there's a lot of articles that talk about if you're really looking for true authentic strength, start training single legs. Very humbling, right? You're not going to be doing nearly enough the same way that you'd be doing a double leg, but at this point, like, I don't care about what the numbers look like. I care about what I look like and how strong I am. And then I think I finished with some ab work and some calf work. And then I called it a day. It ended up being like an hour and 20 minutes. I'm back here filming this video for everybody. I'm sitting down. I'm ready to eat my post-workout meal. My appetite is roaring, right? I'll probably get 6 meals, no issue today. And that's pretty much back off to the races. So now I've set the stage for the rest of the week of training and hopefully waking up with less and less stiffness and tightness in the lower back. I still achieved a quad pump. I also did a little bit of hamstring, so I forgot to say that. And I'm not touching the lower back. Now, you might think about exercise selection here, right? Did I choose loaded squats? Did I choose loaded hack squats? Did I do anything loaded from like a hinge movement? Am I doing anything that could potentially compromise my lower back and then offset progress for the rest of the week? At the end of the day, in a given month, right? Maybe you have 3 sessions of push, depending on what your progress is. So if you miss one of those pull, push leg sessions, leg 2 sessions, maybe you do 2 per month, which is, that's not enough volume to drive tissue. So my point is, guys, movement, but movement that is practical and individualistic in nature to you, and also being able to auto-regulate and understand, like, maybe intensity needs to suffer a little bit today, and I need to worry about form and also just total rep schemes. So all of these questions are kind of rolling through your mind, starting to kind of get the wheels turning. You're like, I'm just not in a position to be able to do that for myself. That's obviously when you work with a coach, guys. The more you can learn, whether it's in a month's time span, whether it's in 3 months time span, you're going to pick up this stuff because you're going to be able to ask questions and then pick the brain of the coach so that way you can regurgitate that for yourself when you're in need. Okay? That is my spiel on auto-regulation and just having random kind of things come up for you, but how to still continue to hit your goals and feel good. Like what's to say that, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, if I didn't do some of these protocols, would I still be in pain? Would I be in worse pain? Would I start be getting some nerve pain? Am I not going to be able to pick up my son right now? Maybe all of those things. But because I've been through this on my side of the spectrum multiple times, and I've helped coach people through these things, we're starting to kind of piece together that there are protocols you can put in place to stay pain-free. And if you're pain-free, you're going to live a much healthier and happier life. That is all. Hat Dragon. Ouse.